Welcome to the Books, Beards, Booze podcast, where we talk books, drink booze, and have beards.
All right. As always, I am Bob of Tales by Bob.
I'm the ass of the podcast, Derek.
I am Intern Tanya. Wee wee wee.
This is a bonus episode. We recently have all read the book Emergency Contact.
It's so good.
And it's by
Mary H.K. Choi, I believe.
And Tanya read it first.
I did.
And then bought a copy for Derek for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And then I read Derek's copy.
I think that I found this book through NPR, actually. On my Facebook. I have a couple books on my TBR that, they've talked about. I'm like, oh, okay, I'd like to read that. And I think that that's how I initially found this book. And somehow I got it on Kindle, somehow.
Yeah.
And so that's how I acquired that. I'm scrolling through my Goodreads right now to get my quotes and stuff together.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was doing. I wasn't playing on my phone. I was looking for...
That's how you become an unpaid intern again.
I've got notes on my... your head was turned away.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No. I was flipping through my phone to open up my Goodreads so that I could have my quotes and stuff together. But yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It's one of the first books that I read of 2018.
Yeah.
When I was...
It was the second book I read of...
2019?
2019.
Yeah. Well, because last year, 2018, Derek, you gave me that book for my birthday. This Is How You Lose Her.
Oh, yeah.
And so I read that in February, and I didn't really read again until April, I think. And I think that's when I picked this up, and it really, for me, helped me get back into reading. Yeah. So what did y'all think?
I loved it. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Derek
did not like it?
That face makes me nervous.
You guys can't see this. This is really amusing to me, but I'm putting my nose on this guard thing.
Pop screen?
No, but yeah, I thought it was really good.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much.
A couple of problems with it, and admittedly the main problem I had with it is a thing that I am more sensitive to just because of the way I take in news.
Okay.
But on the other hand, it is still a legitimate problem. I just let it get to me beyond what was reasonable, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I guess let's first talk about what you really like. Let's put the good before the bad.
Hold on. What's the story? What is this book about?
So, boiled down in my Tanya synopsis.
Right.
We have our protagonist, Penny, who doesn't feel like she's great, kind of thing. Like, she's aware that she's okay, but she's not like, I'm the fucking bee's knees kind of thing. And she's got some emotional baggage where her mom's been pushing her to have this relationship with a guy. She's going off to college. She dumps her high school boyfriend that she didn't really like, but she was dating him because reasons. So she goes off to college, and universe happenstance comes across the guy, Sam, who doesn't have a lot of friends or family ties, and she comes across him having a medical emergency on a sidewalk in public. And she's like, oh, wait, I think that's like my roommate's friend. Oh, shit. He's in trouble. Let me help him, because I kind of know that guy. And so neither of them feel like they have anybody who's there for them. And so they text each other, and they start this relationship via kind of like, I'm guarded, I'm scared, stay away from me kind of thing, but also keep talking to me because I'm tired of being alone. And you're going to be my emergency contact, because that's it for an emergency. Like,
yeah,
that's it for my relationship. Just be my emergency contact. And then it grows from there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's...
essentially.
Yeah. Cliff Notes. Two lonely people becoming each other's emergency contact. Keep talking outside of emergency context and fall in love.
Yeah. It was sweet. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So good stuff first, right?
Yeah.
Tanya, what did you like the most about the book?
I felt like these characters were flawed in a way that felt real. A lot of times I feel like characters are flawed in a tropey kind of way, but I felt like Sam and Penny were real people. And like it just felt like this could be a real thing that happened. Was it a little stretched that, you know, oh, I fell in love with his tattoos and he's so handsome, but bitch, guys with tattoos kind of cute, so it happens. So I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it felt like both of these characters were very real and their baggage felt real, and it felt like real things that could keep somebody from allowing yourself to be vulnerable with others. And
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the realism of it.
One thing I really liked about it is whenever they did something stupid, it was a believable kind of stupid.
Right. Like there was nothing
It
ridiculous.
made sense for that
Yeah.
character.
Oh, I didn't call her back immediately. I had some shit going on.
But I had things that got in the way.
She
And
didn't take the step back, and then after a certain point, now it's just too
Super
awkward
awkward.
Yeah.
to be the first person. Like, it was
Yeah.
very, very believable.
I have been in that shit where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, it's been too long for me to apologize, but I don't want to have it interact with you where I haven't apologized. So let's just never talk again until you talk to me first.
Yeah.
Question mark. So this book felt real for me. I mean, it was fiction, but
Yeah.
it felt like this could be a non-fiction.
okay.
There was only one relationship I thought didn't feel real, and we'll go into that.
Yeah.
It's one of my problems.
I'm going to go next just because my thing I liked the most about this is the fact that it's basically the same thing as Tanya. Like, this is pretty much how the only relationships with people I've had over the past decade
Yeah.
is this
Yeah.
exact thing where I'm like, it's through text, through email, through all of this and like pretty much everything that they did, I've been there.
Yeah.
And I know exactly that feeling, and I know exactly that like mindset, but that's also what made it so charming was that I've been in that situation, and I know how this feels.
Yep.
And I know that there's this weird combination of safety and intimacy going on at the same time.
Yep. Like
that-
you're far away because we're talking via text and we're texting each other, but also this ability to let yourself be vulnerable because the person is farther away.
Yeah.
Right. So it allows you for a certain level of intimacy that you would be, even if it's not accurate, maybe it would seem much more difficult in person.
Yeah.
Whether or not it actually is might be kind of a mental fuck you kind of thing, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
For me, I mean, I definitely agree with both of what y'all are saying. So, in the effort to say something different,
Yeah.
I like that it mentions Dune as a classic. It also mentioned Mouse, which is really good.
Yeah.
Like the way she described it, like, yeah, you can tell she's clearly fucking read that book or comic.
Yeah.
Also mentions a much less known comic that I rave about to everyone, and of course, it's because of that, no one will ever fucking read it. But We Three is really fucking good. It's like a 3-issue comic. It's a standalone comic.
I must have missed that reference.
I have mentioned it. Probably
No,
a
I
dozen
recognize
times over the
you
years.
mentioning it, but I
Oh,
must have
yes.
missed the reference in the book.
Oh, it's when she lists some of the comics that he has where she gets Mouse.
Yeah.
He's got this. He's got this.
I was probably distracted by Mouse
Stuff
because
like
I read that in college.
So that I really liked that. Just a lot of the little kind of like pop culture-y kind of references in there, like made it feel real. I like that. One thing I liked is that I liked how it was portrayed, but it definitely fucking gets on my nerves in real life. But it's because of how real it came across that I liked it. It's people like, oh God, I'm just so old, and they're so young. Y'all are 3 years apart.
Yeah.
Holy fucking
Sometimes
shit.
those 3 years make a big difference.
No.
Yeah.
The way they were acting, like,
True.
oh my God. Like,
But I mean, 15 and 18, that's
hold
3
on,
years.
hold on. This is important to think about real quick, though. When you're 21, 3 years is significantly different than when we're 32.
Yeah.
It's not a deal breaking difference. The way Sam talks about it, you would think that he was a fucking like, oh God, man, like, oh God, there's no way.
But he probably, knowing the baggage that he has and what he's gone through, yeah, okay, maybe he's 3 calendar years older than her, but he probably has felt like the adult all of his life.
Hold on.
He was 3 calendar years younger than the girlfriend that he had.
Hold on.
He's caught up in love
Pause.
with.
Yeah.
This is irrelevant.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense for his character because he is super touchy about age because his mom got with an older dude.
Well, he got with an older chick. I mean,
I know, but
Lola
I'm just...
she's significantly older. I mean, like, she's about 3 years older than him. So, I mean, it just, the way he was like, oh my God, 3 years. Like, people, that's the thing. Like, I know people who do that.
Yeah.
Like, I had a friend that she was like, oh my God, he's such a baby. He's like 2 years younger than me. It's like, really? Like, you're 27, he's 25. Like,
it's not that big a deal.
He's not a baby because of his age. Now, he might be a baby because of his maturity level.
Yeah.
But his age, that's not what, he's 2 years younger than you. Simmer down now.
True.
Well, also, I think it's important to look at this from the perspective of he also feels older than he is.
Yeah.
He spent so much time with, what was her name? Jude?
Lola.
No. His
niece.
Yeah.
Jude.
Yeah, Jude. He spent time with Jude as a child when he was older, and then Penny comes in and she's friends with this person that he remembers as a child.
In his brain, Jude was always going to be a little kid.
Yeah, but he was also, like, I think they met when he was 11 and she was 8.
Yeah, I know, but...
So, I mean, it's not that huge of a difference. You know, I mean, like, when you were 8, you played with 11-year-olds. I mean...
I get it.
It wasn't, like, it's not completely, like... no, I'm not saying, like... I'm saying he's dumb for it. Like, I'm not saying that he doesn't have his reasons, but his reasons are dumb.
I get that. I get that.
Like that's my issue.
I mean, I noticed that he thought about it a few times, but like I don't think he dwelled on it very long.
Well, the other thing is like he clearly is drawn to her partly because of her maturity. You know, like he's so
because I mean she is is friends with Jude, but she is very different from Jude, who is, you know, the quintessential college freshman kind of thing.
Part of the reason they get along so well is because they are older than their years.
Yeah.
Both of them are older than their years. Like, both of them have...
Because trauma ages you.
Both of them have had to be their parents.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Like, that's part of why they get along so well. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, okay. But she's
here's my thing. I understand you're saying that it was... You even had said, I think, that it bothered you probably more than it was an issue, because like he mentions it a handful of times.
No,
he didn't
I liked
really
it in the
make
book
it a
because
issue.
Well, I mean, he does. I mean, he basically
like a little bit, but not.
Well, I mean, he straight up at one point is like, "Well, yeah, I could never do anything with her because of her age."
Yeah, but he thought it like once and then immediately kept texting her.
It's still dumb.
Like,
it's still dumb.
No,
this makes me
feel
real.
Very real.
Yeah,
but very dumb.
Fair.
So,
I liked that this book dealt with trauma and history and baggage and your own personal hang-ups going into not just a relationship, because they didn't enter this thinking a relationship, it's just a friendship, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You know, how your own bullshit can get in the way of just a friendship and that kind of stuff. I mean, I liked it. That was good.
I am just a big fan of like I enjoyed the book, but there is nothing that comes even remotely close to being as charming or good about this book as just them interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Like nothing comes even remotely close to being that good. Like when they're not actively talking to each other, it's okay. It's a good book. I mean, it's passable.
Their dynamic
but,
is really well. Sam
them
and,
together,
Penny's
and how it plays and how they present it to show kind of what a realistic building of a relationship kind of is for our generation.
Exactly.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
That's what was great.
I liked how this is just a minor thing, but I like how we had alternating Sam and Penny chapters for the most part.
I generally like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I could jump in.
I liked that.
Except for the one that it was like still Penny.
Yeah,
which was hilarious to me.
Yeah,
like the fact that
Penny
it actually
said still Penny.
Yeah, because I was like,
yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It felt, I don't know, I feel like I'm repeating myself. It felt modern. It felt real.
Yeah. Do you have anything else in particular you want to bring up that you really liked about it? 'Cause I have something, but
I just really liked Sam.
Okay.
I mean, that was pretty much.
There were so many moments reading Emergency Contact that I wasn't prepared for the emotional blow to me. Because Sam talking about his his history with his mom and stuff like that, and their past relationships and things like that, and there were a couple quotes that really we talked about this on our book recommendation episode, but the two quotes that really hit for me, because this is about the time I was starting my therapy, and all right, Tanya, you be a better person in 2018. And so the quotes that really hit me was about coping mechanisms and how you have to cope with it, or it's just going to sit and fester and ruin everything. Because that was my old Tanya, would fester on stuff. And so ooh, wow, yeah, ouch.
Yeah. So thing that really there wasn't really anything in there that I read that for me personally as a person that's just oh, you just really need to fix that about you.
Yeah.
But me as a writer, I really liked that she was a writer and going to a creative writing class, and that was cool. And the kind of the arc of her writing the story that's kind of paralleling her life to a degree kind of deal. Really like that. But this paragraph really stood out to me because it's something I've kind of wrangled with. So they're in the class, and this is when the professor asks, "Is it okay for?"
Go ahead.
Is it okay for I think she said a Chinese student
to write about slavery,
an Asian student to write about slavery? And so they start having this discussion, and some people are like, no, some people are like, yes, yada yada yada. And the professor comes in and says, it's a privilege, and part of acknowledging that privilege, the privilege of being a writer, is what she's talking about. It's a privilege, and part of acknowledging that privilege is doing it honorably. Create diverse characters because you can, especially ones that aren't easy to write. A character that scares you is worth exploring. Yet if you breathe life into a character and it comes to you too easily, say you're writing from the viewpoint of a black man in America and you're not one, think hard about where your inspiration is coming from. Are you writing stereotypes, tropes? Are you fetishizing the otherness? Whose ideas are you spreading? Really consider how you transmit certain optics over others. Think about how much power that is. And that's something the bulk of the characters that I have written have been white guys, because I'm a white guy, and I'm real hesitant to go outside of that because I get nervous I don't want to I like this, I don't want to play into cliches or stereotypes, but the way she put that, it really resonated with me. It's oh, okay, basically
you can do it. You just have
to.
Well,
yeah, I didn't feel like I needed permission to write a black guy.
Yeah.
But it was just the way she put it, kind of, it allowed me to view how I should go about, some of those deals, I'm scared of fucking it up. Mm-hmm. And so, but this way is really just consider, if you're writing a thing, where is that coming from?
Right.
Kind of deal. I don't know. I really like that part. So
I dig it.
This is a really good transition for us to move into the thing that I hated about this book.
Okay.
And the thing that I hated about this book was that Penny was super racist all the time.
Explain.
every single time she comes into contact with a new person, the very first thing she comments on is what their race is, and then like things about them based on their race. The only reason I didn't stop, like, I got real pissed off at this. Mm-hmm. Like, this was making me really mad because I'm like, what? Like, she's young, so I kind of got past it. And also when I got to that point, I was like, cool, I'm okay. I get that they're being like, it's okay to try and think of things from another perspective. But I was just like, every single time she meets an ancillary character, she's just harping on their race every single time, constantly. The first thing that she says.
Well, is that just part of the author just being descriptive? Like I mean, that was another thing that I was going to mention. The same book, and I didn't
pick up on that.
Yeah, but it also has to do with it also has to do with the fact that I pay attention closer to prose than you guys do.
That's fair. Yeah. But again, like, is it just the author
telling you that she's interacting with another Asian person?
Or
this person is white.
Well, yes, but part of that is stereotyping.
I wonder...
and part of it's using shorthand, which, again, is stereotyping. But I understand it's being useful in the context of writing so that you don't have to waste space. Because you're like, if I say this first thing, you kind of have a base coat to deal with, and then I explain from there. Which I understand.
Also...
But the reason I didn't decide that this was a deal breaker for me, because this made me really mad really often, because she also has a lot of other things I don't like about her as a character.
Okay.
Like, she was constantly upsetting me, which is why I reacted so strong to it.
Right.
But it was I feel like it was a point that the author was trying to make, because when she goes into her teacher's
office or whatever.
And has a conversation about the short story that she wrote. She's like, you're writing all these characters the same, like as if they're the same person just because they're from the same class or the same race.
Right.
Like, that's wrong. They're individuals. You should look at things closer. That was pretty much the thing that made me go, okay, this was on purpose.
Yeah, this is Penny needing to grow.
This is her. Yeah, and then it was another thing like, okay, she's like 18.
Yeah,
calm down.
She's a kid.
But it was just one of those things. Like, it makes her supremely unlikable, and I already didn't like her.
Well, it's also, I mean, part of it could be, like, she is a minority in Texas. Mm-hmm. She is going to pay more attention
to everyone else's race,
to other minorities in Texas. I mean, that's, like, I think that would be probably part of it. You know, like, again, like, that didn't really, like, I have no doubt that what you're saying is true. Like, that, yes, every time immediately she mentions race. Like, I mean, I don't recall that specifically, but, like, again, I don't think she was being racist with it. Like,
my point is that whether or not she's trying to be, it's shitty. Like, people are people. Like, let's look at people as people.
So, you two are white guys. Everything is written for you, white dudes. So your characters in your head are probably going to look like you.
Well, she even mentions that in the book.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, you know, whenever I imagined the superhero, I realized I was imagining a white guy. And, like, how fucked up is that?
So
yeah, and I also disagree with that.
Our author is...
Why do you disagree with that?
Because the fact of the matter is, if the only reason I didn't, like, she might, but, like, you're young. Like, be educated. Like, first of all, read other books. Like, there's tons of representation out there.
But I mean, just look at like major movies.
No. Time out. Like, I have a point.
Yeah.
We today just recorded 2 episodes on different races. Mm-hmm. Were every one of those guys that you thought about dudes?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally thought of all of them.
Yeah.
I always think of elvish females.
Well, it's because all elves are ladies.
Yes,
but fair.
That's kind of
and all dwarves are dudes.
That was kind of the joke.
But I mean, like, I'm not going to challenge you on that, but I mean, like, I'm willing to bet that you thought of only males of that. I thought, I'm a chick, guys, and I only thought of dudes. And so our author is an Asian female writing fiction, which white guys everywhere. And so I feel like if I were in our author's shoes, I feel like I would also go, oh shit, hey, dude, there's someone who's not a white guy. Let's make sure we know people that's not a white guy. This character that I'm talking about, definitely not a white dude. They are a black lady. This over here, Asian mom right here, y'all. Like, not all white guys.
Yeah.
So, and plus, we do have the growth of Penny. But also a lot of Penny as a character is this baggage that she carries with her mom, that yes, it is stereotypical, but for Penny that was her reality of her mom pushing her to be a particular person and Penny not wanting that, and Penny being embarrassed by her mom and that kind of thing. So I mean, like, there are layers to that, and race is one of them. It just is.
How does that play into how her mom is pushing her to be a certain type of person?
You didn't get that from the book? Like, her mom being why don't you date this guy? Because this is what's best for you. This is what's best for the
what's that
family,
have to do
kind of thing.
with race was my question.
Was her high school boyfriend another Asian guy, or was he a white guy?
White guy.
He a white guy with a fetish for Asians.
Yeah.
Fair. I don't know.
You said you read this like a year ago?
Yeah.
The mom wasn't really pushing.
She wasn't pushing at all.
For the boyfriend.
Okay.
Like, she
was supportive of it.
She was supportive,
trying to be like friendly.
I guess I read this 10 months ago.
Yeah.
So I guess in my head, her mom was like, "Why did you dump your high school boyfriend?
She
should have stayed with him. He was great."
That was just because she wasn't letting her in.
Yeah, she had no idea.
Because I know her mom friended him on Facebook.
Because she didn't know what was going on.
Okay, so Penny blocked her out. Okay.
She sent the boyfriend a message like, "Hey, I see."
And then Penny had the audacity to get upset about it. It's like, well, you didn't tell her what the fuck was going on.
So I related really to Penny with that, because when I was 18, I just cut ties with my mom for a hot minute, and
I still spend all day not responding to her text messages.
At the end of the day, my biggest problem with this is the mom-Penny relationship. Because, like, no, I definitely get it. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I witnessed you and your mom's relationship. Yeah. I get it. But the difference is your shit was justified. Now, I'm not saying that Penny shouldn't be annoyed at her mom, like, embarrassed, like, oh my God.
She made me so mad with the way she treated her mom. I was irate.
Here was my problem with it. I felt like that relationship was so shitty, not because it made sense, but because plot reasons. Like,
which is frustrating, because you can make a better plot reason for her to be that frustrated with her mom.
Yeah, like
Sam's fucking mom was.
You know what would have been the perfect. You know what would have been the perfect fucking reason. You want to have that? Have Penny tell the mom, "Hey, this guy molested me," and have the mom not do anything about it, or just kind of like, "Oh, you know, boys will be boys," kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then you have the perfect setup for that relation. Then, if that relationship had played out the way it did in the book, it would make perfect sense.
No, but see, the problem with that is that's kind of you can't really recover from that.
It depends on how the mom did it, because the mom is a seemingly very promiscuous kind of deal. Maybe Penny comes at her like, "Hey, you know, this kind of way."
It could literally have been that she was just like, Did you entice him? And she was so upset from that. It was like, no, I believe you.
Yeah,
I'm saying
you could that is a way. That is an opportunity to have the relationship play out like you want it to play out in the book. But the way this relationship plays out in the book makes Penny
a horrible person,
intensely unlikable. Yeah,
to insane degrees,
because it doesn't make sense. Like, I definitely get like that maybe her and her mom don't get along, but just the degree to which she does, like, fuck, like, I get it. Your mom's in the hospital for a stupid fucking reason. Okay, that's dumb, but she's about to come down. It's her fucking birthday. She's turning 40. She's a MILF. You think 40 might be kind of a big deal for her? Like,
think about someone the fuck else for 8 seconds.
Yeah. Like, I hated that.
I hated Penny for the majority, legitimately. And if she was not talking to Sam, I hated her up until the part where they drove to the sea or to the ocean. Then I liked her because she had some interactions with other people and she felt like a real person. She was so shitty to everyone. Even when she wasn't actively being shitty to people, she was beating them down in her head the entire time. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
I didn't. To me, it wasn't that degree. I really hated her interaction with her mom. The rest of it was like
it largely came from.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with how she handled some of this stuff. Like I wouldn't do it that way, but fine, it made sense for her character. The rest of her interactions, I had no real problem with. I especially like the interaction that she had with the I can't remember the other
roommate's friend.
No, the almost boyfriend. The other the British Asian guy in her class.
Oh, yeah,
Andy.
Yeah. I like the scene where they're going jogging and she's like,
You know what my favorite thing about this was, and it has the fact that he was just a friend, they became friends.
Yes, and you could see a male female just a regular friendship.
Well, it's one of those things, like, I was freaked out because I remember the quote that you told me, and I was like, oh, shit, is he the one that rapes her?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no,
well,
please
no, I
don't.
was my worry was that she was going to get stuck in a relationship with him and drag out that,
I assumed it was too short.
You know that she's getting with Sam.
Yeah.
That's how this book has to play out. And I just didn't want an arc where she's dating some other jackwit. Yeah. I mean, I had no problem with Andy. Like, he was great.
Yeah, I mean, he was fine, but...
I just didn't want an arc where it's like, oh my God, why did you get with...
This made no sense. Yeah. Why did you do that thing? But also, can we just...
Talk about how hot Sam is in this book?
They described him as very attractive. But I was gonna say, can we talk about, like... I'm kind of unsatisfied with the ending of the book.
I feel like you see them come together. They're in a relationship. They're starting, and then there's room for a later.
They decide that they're going to move forward.
Yeah.
I want to see just a little bit of the forward. Like, once they've made that decision, I want to see a little bit of what that's like.
It's tragedy. I can tell you, it's tragedy. It's sadness.
Yeah,
and tragedy. Like, I don't want to see that.
Look, they're so perfect for each other, but the reason that they're perfect for each other is the reason why they're not going to make it, I think.
And what reason is that?
Well, like him, it's more on her side. Like, she's going to have to go through some serious fucking therapy for this relationship to work.
Yep.
Like, Sam has already proved that he will put up with some toxic bullshit far longer than he should. Mm-hmm. But I honestly don't think it's going to get to that point. I think it's going to, like, once the newness and the excitement wears off, now it's one of those deals like she has to be around him on the regular. She's just going to start shutting him out. He's not going to take that well. He's probably going to get drunk really bad one night. They're going to have a fight. He's going to get drunk. She's not going to like that. Shutdown will continue, spiral out to nowhere.
Also, most of their interaction, their communication is text or email or something. Like, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you can't sit there in the same room and text them and be like, I think I'm angry and in my feels right now.
Well, hold on.
Trust me, friend, it don't work. Like,
well, that's super immature. Go talk to somebody. But my thing is, I just want to see a little bit. Like, I'm not even asking to see past
How different do you think it's going to be than what you've already seen?
A little bit, and that's all I wanted.
I don't think it's going to be that different. I think the little bit that you're going to see is going to be basically the same as what you just saw. Like, oh, she comes over to his house one night. Kind of deal. Like,
once
you've
they
basically seen it.
Yeah, but once they stopped being dumb, I had a lot of fun. Like, when they were just being around each other, I enjoyed experiencing that.
But part of that was because of all the buildup. Like,
part of it was but also part of it was just that they were fun to be around when they were around each other. So I just wanted to be around them being around each other for a little bit longer. That's all.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's not the same.
But no, like, y'all's...
Actually, it would be the same. That's the problem.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, y'all's beef with the Penny and her mom relationship, I didn't get that, but I guess there was a lot of room to fill in some gaps with your own bullshit.
Yeah.
So...
Well, but, because, I mean... At the end of the day, what did her mom ever actually do?
So I think Penny's biggest thing is something that I relate to on a nearly eye-to-eye level. Of
that the mom wanted to be a friend, not a mom.
No, and I get that. You have to be your own parent, and you spend your whole life parenting your mother, and she doesn't live up to your expectation and what you need as a parent. And Penny has to handle that herself. Yeah. Penny needs to come to a point where she can go, My mom did the best that she could do. I cannot be mad that she is not the mom that I need. Well, it's not her fault. That's something that I have had to deal with. That's one of the things that I loved so fucking much about this book, is that for me, it was a lot of what I'm working through in therapy put in a book. And so on a personal level, for me, this book was amazing. But I mean, like, that's something that I think a lot of people, not just Penny and her mom, but you have to come to the realization that maybe your parent isn't the parent that you want or that you needed, but it's the one you've got. You have to make peace with that on your own. You can't make another person be who you want them to be. You just have to go, all right, my parent is not the parent that I needed, or the parent that I really want, or the parent I fucking deserve, if you want to go that route. But they are who they are. They tried in the best capacity that they're able to try. Penny's mom, I'm sure, did everything she could to be a good mom to Penny. And at some point, Penny shut her out. And then how do you love someone who doesn't fucking want it? So, I don't know.
Well, they never had a problem with loving each other.
I agree with 100% with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, but again, like, not to throw your business out on Front Street, but like your relationship with your mom, very similar. Like, your mom always wanted to be your friend, not really wanted to be your mom.
Yeah.
But your mom did some other shit. Like, it was more than, like, you can go in and look at y'all's relationship and be like, okay, my mom, if all it was my mom wanted to be my friend, you would definitely have a lot of lingering frustration and some anger there. Mm-hmm. But it wouldn't be to this degree that Penny has. Like, that's the thing. Like, even the mom says, like, you basically never gave me a chance. Like, at 6 years old, she was already shutting her mom out. Like, at 6 years old, she was like, well, I just went to the neighbor. Like, I didn't even try to go home and get my mom to bandage my face.
I just went to the neighbors and, like, y'all help me because she's incapable.
And then fall out.
It's like, you never truly gave her a chance, really. Like, and so... It's like, she's a single mom.
Like she never even let you down. You just assumed she was going to.
Yeah, like, and she did so much for her. It's like, she was like, yes, I get, like, she
what
was
part
trying to
of
be
the
a
relationship
friend.
made you think that I wasn't going to try?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Just, I totally agree with her having anger and resentment and having to more or less raise herself. But she is virulent with it. And that's what bothers me. Is like, there's no justification for that I see.
Yeah.
Someone else might read into it.
No, I mean, that's,
see it.
I think what's written on paper, I think what's written on paper justifies y'all's view of Penny, is particularly with her mom. And y'all aren't the only people who have a problem with that. I mean, like, if you go to Goodreads and you look at the reviews, there are a lot of people who say that Penny is just a flat out unlikable character. But for, like I said, for me, I have enough similarity with her that I could fill in some gaps and know where that 18-year-old kid is feeling that anger and frustration and, you know, that hurt of you let me down.
And low-key, you're attracted to British people. I mean, you do copy their accent.
I do.
Fact.
She likes tattoos.
I do. I got a couple.
But I don't know, it's just one of those deals, like, Sam has legitimate reason to, like, go set his mom on fire.
Yeah.
And instead he brings her a plate of cookies.
Because he's a fucking man.
But no, but it's like...
Because people deal with their family and trauma differently. No, that's the thing.
Right, no, but like...
Yeah, one person's right, one person's wrong.
No, it's not that. But it's just the contrast there is like...
Ooh, I think that also speaks to, like, what is traumatic for one person isn't traumatic for someone else. Because... not to put all my business out, but, like, I've had some things happen to me in my life that for other people that they did have to go through this debilitated them to the point where they can't function.
And you're like, nah.
And I don't that didn't happen. That was not my outcome. So, you know, what is traumatic for one person isn't as traumatic for others. So for Penny, having her mom not be a mom was traumatic for her, that changed that dynamic. But for Sam, his mom wasn't a mom, did a whole bunch of other things, but he processes it in a way where he can still see her humanity, I guess.
I was going to say, let's not try and sell this as him thinking that she
No, he can still recognize that she's a shitty mom and that, he had some bullshit happen, but he still sees her as
that was
how
kind
he
of my
wants
point
to
is,
see her, I
well,
guess.
it's not even that. He knows that she's a person that has faults that fucks up.
Yeah.
Penny dehumanized her mom.
I think Penny's also a perfectionist.
She just, no one is a person to her. She's super narcissistic.
That happens. You'd be like that when you're an 18-year-old girl. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about being 18-year-old girls, but we real bitches. I don't know, maybe
a little brief time. No, anyway. No, so all right, so like my two big problems, my big problem was Penny's relationship with her mom.
Yeah,
Just
no, I
didn't
think
come
that's
across
fair.
believable.
Okay.
My other problem was the subplot with the documentary.
Oh yeah, the skater kid.
It's like
that's weird.
No, to me, it would have been fine if there'd been any sort of resolution to it, but it just kind of goes nowhere. Yeah. Like, it's basically like he realizes, if I turn this in,
these kids get in trouble.
Y'all get in trouble.
Yeah.
Or the kids could potentially get in trouble. And then it just, and then it's just kind of like dropped at that point. Like, I would, just something from him after that fact to show maybe what he's going to do with it. Like, is he...
Oh, he's already said he's just not going to do it. He's done.
Well, no, but he's not going to turn it in. Mm-hmm. He's still got the footage. He could do something else with it. Like, he has to get these release forms signed to turn it in. And he says, well, I'm not going to turn it in. Okay, well, what are you going to do with it now? Because...
Man, if there had been more story, we might have found that out.
Well, to me, it's just like, I get the point was like to show like, okay, well, all right, he's getting back in school. He's kind of, because it kind of mirrored her storyline of her crap, or her working on the story that she's working on. But that kind of comes to a resolution where she gets the acceptance of the teacher, and the teacher's like, oh, okay, you're finally writing in first person. This is what I really wanted the whole time. And she's like, oh, why didn't you tell me that? Well, that's not how it's supposed to work. Yeah. But she gets that validation of the teacher that she's wanted to like her the whole time. Soft praises her a little bit. So the story works. The story finishes, it works. And like that subplot, I felt had a resolution.
Right.
It felt like, okay, we've hit a hurdle. We've hit the conflict of this, and now we're just dropping it. It's like, if that's what you're going to do, we spent way too much fucking time on this to get to where we're going. Like, Derek, as much as you love this relationship, wouldn't you have rather traded scenes of skater kids for these two interacting? Because I'm here for these two interacting, and like, I don't know, like,
no, I'm not.
Like this scene of like, you could have basically cut the whole bits, like just have him show like, okay, here he's going to film that, and then just mention it in the background if you're not ever going to actually come to a conclusion.
Here's my thing is, you made it sound like they spent a lot of time on it. There was like 2 scenes.
There was like 4 scenes. There's the scene when he goes there the first time and sees them. There's the scene when he goes back and is just like recording them and they're talking.
The kid takes them to their hideout place or something. He
goes to the kids' painting hideout thing, which is
that's awesome. I would like more of that.
Talk about that more.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene when he goes to his mom, and then there's a scene when he's talking to the school person. So there's 5 scenes about this arc that goes nowhere.
I like that. Yes, I would like a resolution for that, but I also kind of like that Sam kind of drops it because the kid and his mom request it, and so he respects reasoning. Other people's boundaries and stuff like that. But
the kids didn't ask him to.
Yeah, he didn't even ask him to.
No, they didn't ask him to.
He said, "You're
drop
never going to
it.
sit or sign anything."
The kid was like, "Mom is not going to sign it because she's scared because she's here illegally." And when he realized, oh shit, if to do that, there's a risk of her, something going on. So he's like, oh well, cool. I'm just going to I'm going to do this. Like, he should just be like, okay, well, now I'm just going to do this. Like, fuck, man, just fucking throw it up on fucking YouTube. Leave the bit with the mom, the interview with the mom out, and just, oh hey, I'm throwing this up on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, like something like you want to be a documentarian. This is a really like, especially when it's like goes into like this kid's art. Like,
yeah,
oh my god,
that was super cool.
You like at first like, okay, dude, I have seen a fucking ton of skate videos.
I was
like,
trying to figure out what was so important.
Nix the skating stuff, and then go, all right, I found these kids skating, but look at this fucking art.
Yeah, like I get like it's something that resonated to him. I get it's just a school project, so he probably, oh, well, I like skating. I'm going to go interview some kids who were like me when I grew up. You know, when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And but then he like uncovers this part of like, whoa, now here's the cool documentary. This is fucking rad. And like, I mean, he could like really do like, I don't know, like it would have been cool like to see if maybe he gets this, like maybe the resolution is like, okay, well look, I'm not going to do this documentary that's a little risky, but maybe he gets the kid like an art scholarship or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just saying, maybe if he had been nicer to Jude, she could have hooked him up with some funding to like get him into it.
Jude was kind of annoying.
I liked Jude.
She was sweet, but
no, there was.
I know people like that. They're exhausting.
They're exhausting for an introvert. You're not going to sell me on her not being.
Yeah, I liked
pleasant.
I liked Jude.
Yeah, like she's a sweet
I
kid.
didn't like. This is a more minor thing. I really didn't like how Sam treated her. Like, I get he had reasons.
Yeah, there's some baggage where like I used to be your uncle.
I don't want you to. I don't want you to know that
and we paid your family for a little while.
Yeah,
awkward sauce.
And he's also like, I just really don't want you to know that I'm failing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, again, dealing with not wanting to let people see your flaws and your failures and having a lot of pride again speaks a lot to Tanya.
No, like I said, like I get, but like going out to dinner, like just throw her bone, you know, like just go to dinner with her one time, and he never like. He basically like do something with her.
My thing,
know? Like
I get that more than anything else for the most part, just because like he had all that shit going on with him and the baby mama, and like it was affecting him to the point where like if he was around her, there was no way she wasn't going to notice that there was something weird going on, and he was going to have to
talk
tell
about
her.
it. Yeah.
No, and like I said, that's why it doesn't bother me nearly as much as like other stuff. But like it did kind of like, man, just throw her. And like to me, I think my favorite part of the book was the scene when Jude just fucking tells her off. Is like, like you and Sam just ignore me. Like I moved here from a long way away, and I don't have any friends. Yeah. Like, and y'all
the only people I know. Fucking hang out with me.
And was like, y'all just avoid me like the fucking. That's what hurts. You know?
I think
it's like I don't care that y'all are dating. It's the fact that y'all shut me out.
My favorite like arc in the background was the fact that like I hated Mallory at the beginning, and then by the beach end, and then I was just like, oh no, I get it.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad
because she was the only one fucking there for Jude all the time, and she was just like, I'm here by myself, and she's like, don't worry, I got you.
Well, it's like part of it is like Mallory is like when it started out, I thought she was going to be just this super stereotypical kind of just mean girl, and like. Especially at the beach scene, like when they go to the beach and she's
I love
just,
that scene.
Like all that, she's kind of like, no, like she doesn't say this, but like you're like, oh hey, oh, she's not just a trope.
My favorite part was probably when she's like, why do you like me? And they're like, huh? That was the most relatable Penny thing she ever said, was being like, I don't understand why you guys like me, because I'm like, I don't get that. Why do people like me? That doesn't make sense.
So
and then, So I was just like that whole thing, and them just being like, "What? What are you talking? Why? What do you mean? Why?"
Yeah.
So we spent like 15 minutes talking about what was good and what we liked. We've now spent 30 minutes shitting on it.
Well,
I don't think we're shitting on it. We're just discussing the layers of realism.
Joking.
Here's the thing: how much we just said about the problems and the discussion that we just had. That is the least part of what we got out of the book, because the good parts were that charming.
Yeah, no, this book really is.
I'm so glad that y'all enjoyed this.
Good.
I was nervous, honestly.
I was nervous until they started spending more time with Sam and Penny, like talking. I was like, man, I don't like Penny. I don't like that. I don't like her.
One other minor quibble. The way they did the text, I did not like how they did the texting.
It was confusing. Wasn't it?
There was at least 3 different times that they started texting that I had no clue who was who.
Oh, I didn't have that problem at all.
Oh, there's a couple times like you just come into a scene dry, and there's no indication on who's speaking, and you have to read like most of the interchange before you're like.
Well, if it was a Penny chapter, she's going to be on the right. If it's a Sam chapter, he's on the right because it's like text.
I know,
the sender's on the right.
But you still have to kind of stop for a second.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never had that hiccup.
I actually did.
I did. It would have been like it wouldn't have killed. I mean,
you know why?
Just put a little, some sort of indicator kind of deal.
Here's why. Here's why it was a bigger issue. It wasn't written in first person. Had it been written in first person, that would have made sense. The fact that it was all written in third person, you might forget because you're just so in the third person.
Penny did this. Sam did
that.
I get it.
Here's another minor quibble. It's more on Penny's side. And this could maybe just be a generational thing. But Penny is a introverted, intellectual writer.
Yeah.
Why can she not send an entire thought in one text? Why does it take 9 texts to get a
Stop
thought
sending
across?
me lines. Send a paragraph.
Yeah,
they'll get it. I promise.
Oh,
yeah, like that. That was something that bugged me.
I can very much be a sectional texter.
People will interrupt you if you send little text like that. They'll interrupt the thought.
Some of it's like you sent 5 words. Now you've sent 3 words. Now you've sent 1 word. Why don't you just send however many words that is?
I think the thing is that they're doing.
I think that's
it. Could be, but like it could be generational.
Part of it I think is the fact that they know that the other person is doing something, because like for the most part of
I know you're not going to interrupt me because I know that you are doing something right now. So here's your wall o text that's broken down into haha chunks.
Because I can just send you what I'm thinking, and they're like, oh well, you know what? Because I know like you're dealing with serving someone coffee right now.
I guess my biggest thing is like they're both like, especially her, overthinks things.
Yeah.
Why are you going to send a partial thought?
Oh no, that's
what bothers me.
No,
like she overthinks. Why is she sending partial thought?
That's why I send pages.
She's going to think about what she wants to say and
before she says it.
You know, like
well, that's fair. That's fair.
Like him, he didn't strike me as like a hugely overthinking type, and he also struck me as the kind of guy who didn't really text. Like he was kind of new or.
Like he did it
because he's so old,
right?
Oh my god, he's like
decrepit.
No, but one of the things that I disliked was that, like, I understood the way they wrote Penny with her like options. Like,
oh, I didn't like that. Like,
yeah.
It'd be like you'd be going along, and how she just every song would be like, so option 1 is this, option 2 is this, option 3 is this. So of course I chose option 3.
So here's the thing. One,
I didn't.
No, we're writers. It's lazy as fuck.
Okay.
It's such a fucking cop out.
Okay.
But it made sense for her character because she's a fucking robot that doesn't care about other people.
Yes.
Which was literally how I dealt with it, and I was just like, I understand that this is a good
computing things.
Yes.
Option 1, option 2.
Like it makes sense to me for her as a character, but it is kind of bullshit, and it's also cheap.
Well, like part of, like, I think my biggest problem with it, a lot of those were rapid fire situations. She was not.
She did not have time
3 options.
She's not computing 4 options. 2 of which are absolutely fucking ridiculous, and it's like, so of course I did 1. Then you're probably not going to think about options 3 and 4
until later, and you're like, "Fuck, I wish I had done that thing."
No, that's fair.
I wasn't a big fan of that.
That was,
like, it didn't. It's not something I'm going to be like, oh.
Well,
but
see, I focus on craft more than Bob does, and that was just it didn't like ruin anything for me, but it was a thing that I noticed. I was like, I don't like that. Like, it's just not a thing that I like. It's cheap. Like it's a way to avoid having to have her think thoughts. Because you can just be like, here it is. You know,
pick a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
great
I was nervous recommending this to y'all. Because I mean, I loved everything about this book. I know that there are flaws to it, but they, for me, are so minor that
it's your Dune.
that's not the sand hill I want to die on. So no, like it spoke to me on a personal level. These characters felt real. Their baggage felt real. Their situations, how they reacted it just felt like
I also think
real life.
You were slightly more of the target audience,
right?
Than us.
Yeah, I get that.
Are you trying to say that I'm not emotionally a teen girl? Because I'm definitely emotionally a teen girl.
I think it's just more. She's a woman writer writing women.
Yeah.
And the relationship is two-sided, but I think it had more focus
on Penny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that's because she needed to change more. Because Sam was like had issues, but like
they both need to work because they're
really
real people.
A lot of Sam's issues were kind of resolved before Penny. Like he had that one relapse to drinking, but a lot of his it seemed like most of his issues, or not most, but a lot of his issues he had kicked before the book started.
That was my biggest issue with like reading his chapters, was me reading his chapters and going, I've been in this exact situation. No, don't do that thing. That thing that you're thinking about doing. Don't do that.
And he does the thing.
No, he didn't. He didn't do the thing.
Well, like I'll say this one thing I really like this book. There were several opportunities where like, holy fuck, he's about to do this. He's about to do something stupid, or like I thought, oh man, she's going to hook up with Andy, and Sam's going to show up and get super hurt. Like none of those like cliche-ish kind of things happened. Like when they did have fuck ups and problems, it was more realistic, like more common, like kind of fuck ups.
Let's not even say that those things that are cliche don't happen, because they
No,
do.
they're cliche for a reason.
Cliche,
but I don't want to read them because I read them all the fucking time.
The thing is, they didn't make sense for those characters and the relationship point that they were at, and they were like, even had he rolled up on that, he had kind of been crushing on her, but like it wouldn't have been a huge deal. He already thought she was dating someone else.
Well, no, he was surprised by that because when
I know, but that's what I'm saying is after he found out, he's like,
he was like, it did bother him.
Like, but my point is like it wouldn't have crushed him, and it would have ruined their friendship, or anything like that.
But like, I could easily have foreseen, fucking, he gets like Lola comes by one night, he gets real drunk, fucking Penny shows up. And maybe even just one of those like cliche, like Lola's leaving kind of deal, and she's just
Penny
like,
goes, "Oh no!"
Penny's into like, "Oh god, he's back with her," and just
gets her feelings hurt.
Well, I mean,
gets her feelings hurt.
She kind of did have one of those where she's like, "Oh, well, they're back together. They're probably back together. Oh my god, did they go get married?"
No, I can relate to Penny. I can relate to scrolling through somebody's social media to go, "Oh no,
that's
look at this."
the one thing that I didn't get,
hurting
because I refuse to allow that to happen. I'm just not.
I cannot tell you how often I don't really do this so much anymore, and I'm proud of this. I've grown, but I mean,
she's a serial killer.
Looking through, somebody's
one doesn't
highlight
exclude
reel.
you from the other.
I'm not a serial killer, but like looking through somebody's highlight reel to hurt yourself you look at someone's social media or whatever to...
God, Tanya, why don't you get to the level where you can hurt yourself enough without having to do that?
I'm done trying to hurt myself on purpose, Derek. 2018 was real good. 2019, we're good. But, I mean, looking through someone's social media, telling yourself that you're looking for something, but really you're low-key just looking for pain. Yeah. Looking to hurt yourself.
I ain't about that life.
So...
Getting real.
But, I mean, like, that's the only reason that you look through an ex's former love interest or maybe potential current love interest. Is the only reason you look through there is so you can hurt yourself, feel bad about yourself.
Not the only reason, but no, because like for her, she would like, can I get proof that they are back together or not?
Why do you do that unless you want to hurt?
Because you want to know what the fuck's going on and you don't want to just ask because you're a child.
Look me right in the eyes. If you go look for things, you will find them and they will hurt you. You don't look unless you want to see it.
Only if they exist.
But if you're in that point where you're rooting and you're digging, if you don't find it, that's not confirmation that it doesn't exist. That's confirmation that they're being sneaky and that they're hiding it. Trust. I've been in that fucking crazy ass spiral.
You just said that you don't do this. She's the expert. She's right.
Yeah. But anyway, like I related to Penny on such a fundamental level. This book was so good. I'm really glad you liked it. It was great.
like I actively knew that you would like relate to her, and that made me sad.
Yeah. But
because I like you, but I hate her.
But being where I'm at right now, I feel so far away from where Penny is, but I have been where Penny is. And to sit where I'm at now and go, oh, honey, I remember your pain. I know that this confusion that it's real. I've been there. But
Sam,
to not be there anymore is so great, and I love it.
Sam, don't you fucking text that girl back. Don't you fucking do it. You said you weren't going to do it. You don't call her. You don't fucking text her, Sam. And then he did, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. No, I really would like all of our listeners to pick this up. It's not on paperback yet, so you can get it on Kindle. It's maybe when this drops. This was last year new, 2018 new. That's why
I read a newish book.
Yeah, that's why you had to get. That's why I got you a hardback.
I thought it was just because I was special.
So it was available on Kindle and then hardback, and I think maybe April 2019 it comes out on paperback.
We're going to put a link to go buy it in the description.
It's really enjoyable. Read it for yourself. Give it to anybody.
I'm going to say this on like right now so that you guys can hear me, and then all of our fans, which, you know.
All of them.
Look, I'm just saying, if you're going to buy me a book as a gift, it better be hardback. Because I'm going to keep it.
Hard no.
Paperbacks are easy to travel with.
No. But
hardbacks don't.
No, but it's a gift. It's like you're only buying something for someone that you like. This is a really good book that I know you're gonna like.
So what does that say about the paperback you bought me last year for my birthday?
I bought it.
This is a temporary friendship. Here's a temporary paperback book.
Well, you ran off before.
Savage.
Oh God, my heart.
Savage. All right. Let's y'all got anything final you want to add? Let's wrap this up.
I love it.
I love like it was so charming.
All right, 1 to 5.
That's the word I always come back.
1 to 5, and we'll end it there.
4 3/4 stars.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 3.75.
I'm gonna go.
I didn't have any problems with the prose.
I had problems.
There's no world building because it's
our
world.
Yeah, but I did have the problems.
Characters were great.
I'm gonna go 4.25.
Fair.
4.25.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all go get this book. It's great. Again, it is Emergency Contact by
Mary H.K. Choi.
And again, we will have a link for you to be able to go buy it. And I hope that you would buy it and use our link.
Yeah.
It costs you nothing.
Use that affiliate link,
but
Fran.
It's our affiliate link. So, all right. As always, I hope that you go forth and grow a great beard.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Books, Beards, Booze. Our co-hosts are Bob, Derek, and Tanya. Our producer is Bob. For more information, visit our website, booksbeardsbooze.com. Follow our social media at Tales by Bob. If you enjoyed this podcast, please rate, subscribe, and share. Okay, bye.